into the 3-pack. I think one of the most important things for us to do is be able to set appointments. A conversation where I meet you, Todd, on the golf course or kids' ball game or something like that, and we have a great conversation about real estate, and I walk away and I don't have your phone number, I don't have your email, but you have my business card, and I'm gonna go home and go, Todd's gonna put that business card on his refrigerator. Yeah. He's gonna give me a call one day, and it just doesn't happen. So it's an art for us, and it's really a mindset for us. I go into every single real estate conversation and it's my mindset to walk away with an appointment. That is the overriding objective, because if that is my goal, then everything else, I collect everything else that I need. So just ask for the appointment, don't let any new conversation end without asking for the appointment. When can we get, can we get together, or we'll talk about options and how we do it. And a lot of agents are afraid. I don't know why. Either they don't think about it or they're afraid to ask. What is the worst that, as I tell my kids when they were, the first time they were getting ready to ask out a girl, right? What is the worst? God, they had it so easy. We had to actually go up to a girl.
We didn't have swipe left.
Yeah, and ask them out. But more at-bats equals more hits. The more appointments that you try to set, the more appointments that you will have.
I think a lot of us have a problem. We've always talked about shrink the room and different ways in which you can do those types of things. But one of the things that's always worked for me was that if you ask enough questions, that other person, meaning sound intrigued into what they're saying, even if it might be a little bit off, meaning wrong. Don't try to be the person that knows everything, but listen, get enough information, and then have a reason why you need to give them something later or tomorrow or another day, because then you have the permission. Hey, gee, Mike, can I have permission to, contact you on Tuesday or drop by the house and drop off these items to you that, I told you about? I've got this really great, whatever. But you get the permission, and then once you have that, then how are you going to deliver it to them? Well, they've got to give you either their address, their phone number, or something to contact them.
So you're lucky. Shauna asked you out, right, Nick?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
He was a stud.
No. So the question that I have for this, and I might be putting you on the spot because that's not necessarily the point, but what in the conversation you're having with this person is triggering in your brain, I need to talk to them more. I need to get them where we can meet one-on-one, we can meet with the significant other, the spouse, and have a bigger conversation.
Well, I think to Todd's point, I like the term be curious. Ask questions in such a way that you're curious, and if you ask enough questions, then that will naturally lead to whether they're a buyer, whether they're a seller, whether they're an investor, which then will lead down the road of what in my toolbox is something that I can present to them and create that. And sometimes, it's just, hey,
asking.
We had a great conversation. Let's go golfing. We do. Ryan and I do that all the time.
Yeah.
We'll meet somebody, have a real estate conversation. Next thing you know, we're on the golf course
and they're
with
swinging
them.
clubs into the tree because they're having a bad day.
All right, but when you get into that point to ask for the appointment, I try, don't make it a yes or no question. We've said this so many times over the years. People will take the path of least resistance. If I ask you, Todd, would you like to meet next week?
No.
I've just made it very easy for you to give me an excuse
answer,
and so forth.
Yeah.
So we talk about it all the time with our teams. We always provide options. Have a real estate conversation. All right, Todd. I'd love to get together with you, go over the value of your house. Going to put together a detailed report. Does tomorrow at noon or Wednesday at 3? And it's make them, look at options rather than just an easy excuse. And appointments, you're not 100%. You're not going to set 100%. But it goes back to point number one. The more at bats you have, it equals more hits.
So the big thing about getting the appointment, meaning getting their yes or no or getting them to move forward, to me, always boils down to the fact of how well did you listen and how many questions did you really ask. So I think we've kind of handled that one already. But the big piece here is going to be, well, I lost my train of thought. What was the last thing that you said?
I said that Shauna asked Nick
no,
out.
not that. No, yeah.
No.
But okay, so but if you're not making it a yes or no question, the thing is that what you're trying to find out is what resources they need, what resources that you may have to be able to provide to them, and ultimately, if you focus on things that was what I was going to say. Don't try to convert. Meaning the word convert, it's been inbred upon us by so many people that even when we get a lead from Zillow, we're trying to make an appointment. Stop trying to make an appointment. Start trying to be the person that's going to assist them in navigating the decision.
Well, and that's, to Justin's points earlier, what Justin and his team is doing, going above and beyond there, and maybe that is a common thing that lenders are doing. It's not something that I hear all that frequently, but you want to be able to set these appointments with individuals that you're having conversations with, because you quoted Ted Lasso, be curious, not judgmental. You want to build relationships with people. And in building relationships, you have a love for that person. You want to truly help them. And we have Sean on today who's going to talk about all the things that him and his team do and why he's gotten to be the place that he is, because Sean truly loves helping people through their real estate journey. And if you want to do that, you want them to work with you because you know they're going to have the best opportunity. They're going to have the best process. They're going to be taken care of. So the individual on the other side of the table doesn't know that. You're trying to establish trust with them, and there's that little hesitation. So not giving them the easy out, allowing them to make a decision to want to meet with you is helpful to them down the road.
And the faster you go for the close, the worse chance you're going to get.
Yeah, because you're not helping them at that point. You're trying to help yourself.
And it doesn't always necessarily have to be an appointment where I am bringing something.
Sure. No,
Ryan and I would do a lot of work at Luke Air Force Base, so it's really easy. So we go out there and we run into a pilot and we have a 5-minute conversation, and it's a great conversation. We're not getting into the home buying process and home valuation or whatever this case is. Sometimes it's just a simple, hey man, I love to continue this conversation. You golf, you drink beer, or whatever, and then go into the options and set that appointment.
Yeah, that's awesome. Keep going. That's good.
All right, third, and then put it on their calendars. Most people live by their calendars. So typically throughout this process, we are collecting names and phone numbers, and we've talked about our systems a lot on how to do that. But if I'm going to set an appointment tomorrow, we're going to get together Friday at 4:00. Literally, it's picking up your phone, because everybody's got their calendars in their phones, and putting that appointment on your calendar. And then, all right, Todd, what's your email address here? I'm going to put this on the calendar, because there's a higher success rate of appointments happening when they're on the calendars rather than, because then you're going to call them, text them Friday morning, hey, we still on today? And they're like, oh, I completely forgot, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. When it's on the calendar, people are less likely to forget about it. And again, it's a great way to collect emails and phone numbers, and then just send the invite right on the spot.
Totally. Don't think that technology works all the time. Like, for instance, I went up to somebody recently, and he was telling me how he is so technologically advanced. He's a 38-year-old guy. And, and he's doing all these things. He says, I just can't believe that other people don't have bump my contact on their iPhone. And I'm like, well, a lot of people don't like people to bump you by mistake and end up with your contact information, but again, I know it's head to head on the phones, but the fact is just the same kind of thing. He's like, I just can't believe everybody doesn't know that portion of their phone. And sometimes
he needs to spend an hour with my mom.
Yeah, sometimes he's only 38, but then again, yeah, boomers have, 57% of the assets out here in the marketplace today. Maybe you ought to go back to the Ben Franklin.
Oh, we're
Nick,
done.
Nick, it's you.
Sorry, we're talking about Ben
Sorry,
Franklin.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would say that you and Ryan do this probably the best of anyone that I know. If I get a text from you guys and you guys have a quick question for me, need to have a conversation, hey, do you have a minute this week that you can chat? Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday, this time or this time. I will immediately, I hang up the phone, I automatically have a meeting invite from you guys. It is something that you do. It's just a natural thing that you guys do in your business, and it's incredibly helpful. It's something that I have started to try to do because we get busy. It's not just that we're trying to avoid it. We get busy. And if it's not something that we're excited about, we're going to look for every excuse to not let it happen. And just being humans, having it on our calendar, that little obstacle to be able to cancel it, we're going to be like, all right, we'll just have the conversation. We'll just have the meeting. It's a very easy way to solidify that conversation is going to happen. It pops up on the phone. It pops up on the device. My dad is late 70s. He uses the meeting invite as much as anyone that I know, because then we can get a hold of him. So we set up a Teams call with him, and that's how we can get calls on his schedule. So it's something that is universal. You don't have to do the phone tappy to get the invite.
Well, it also keeps you from double booking.
For sure.
And then and I know you. I don't know about you, Todd, but I know Nick has that, the Calendly link on his email and so forth. And time and place, it's fantastic. But when you meet somebody for the first time and you are trying to draw them into your universe as a client, right? Don't go, hey, I'm just going to send you my Calendly link.
Great point. Great
but
point.
I see it. Yeah. I have attorneys. I have attorneys that do that. Oh, yeah. Oh, you want to meet with me and give me a bunch of money? Hey, here's my Calendly link.
No, I do that to you. You guys have to use my Calendly link to book with me. No, 100%. That's definitely the warm and fuzzy. And then the other side of that coin, if you're working
Sometimes I go into his and I just block out an entire day.
This was the point. If you're just meeting someone for the first time and they've not invited you to meet yet, and they've got that calendar link on the bottom of their email, I would say that's a courageous thing to grab a time slot and just schedule, but I would probably ask permission before you do that.
Totally. Love it.
All right. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to block out. You're going to be off the rest of the week.
Thanks,
You're
buddy.
done.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You always reject us for golf. This is how I'm going to start doing it.
I'm busy.
I'm just going to book it.
Yeah, because you like playing golf on Wednesdays or Thursdays.
All righty. Thanks, guys.